What is good, everyone? You are back with Aaron's Urban Exploring. We come to check out the old remains of Ladyshore Colliery, and behind me is remnants of where all the grounds was, which had two big pit wheels, an old cottage, some stables and a chimney and all the rest of it. We'll go and check it out. What is good, everyone? We're back and we're on the trail of the colliery. It's a bit windy, it's a bit of a breezy day today. I'll just get you a bit of history of this place. It was originally named Back of the Barn, and it was situated on the Irwell Valley, fault on the Manchester Coalfield in Ladyshore, then in the historic county of Lancashire. Founded by Thomas Fletcher Senior, the colliery opened in the 1830s and mined several types of coal. It became infamous as a result of the owner's stand against the use of safety lamps. Women and children also worked in the mines under poor conditions. The mine closed in 1949, and it was the last colliery to remain in use by the canal. Only the colliery office, now a house, and the stables have survived, which I will show you after a little expedition. The geology of the Irwell Valley made coal easier to mine. Thrown upwards by the fault, the coal measures were often to be found at a reasonably shallow depths. Unfortunately, floods were common as water seeped into pits. In 1835, one such flood occurred at Ladyshore. Mining in the affected pit ceased in 1884, but the shaft remained in use as the upcast ventilation shaft for the colliery. Eventually, a tunnel was driven to Farnworth Bridge Pit, also owned by Fletcher family, to dewater and ventilate the mines. The colliery was built over the canal, bridge number 67, and sometime around 1881 the bridge was railed to make a tubway. In 1905 the owners entered into discussion with the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Company in an attempt to establish an endless steel ropeway across the canal and to deliver coal using possible rail spur to the colliery. Although these talks were abandoned in 1908, the subject was again raised, again with no result. In 1938 the colliery was owned by Ladyshore Coal Company. Its three pits, Ladyshore, Irwell Hall and Victoria, employed 208 men underground and 114 surface workers. By the start of World War II, Ladyshore was the only working colliery remaining on the entire length of the canal. It had its own fleet of boats, and as late as 1941 still sent over 50,000 metric tons of coal along the canal to Radcliffe and Bury. In 1907 the colliery was reorganised and a new company formed to run it, the Ladyshore Coal Company Ltd. And I'm just going to go through a few accidents what happened. The colliery was witness to several accidents, some of them fatal. In 1886 a collier by the name of Hardacre was injured in or around the coal screening area. The accident resulted in Hardacre taking Fletcher, the owner, to court, although some private papers about the paper's subsequent court case, Hardacre's v Fletcher, have survived. None of the paperwork is dated other than by the year at 2:30 p.m. on 25th of June 1902. A collier by the name of W. Scott was killed. Scott was pulling down the roof with his under manager, a man by the name of Brown, when a 6-inch thick layer fell, bringing down the next layer and crushing Scott. At the inquest in Bolton on July the 1st, his death was recorded as accidental. So, like any other pits around the area, been a few fatalities and a few little disasters occurring. I'm just find this brick here, Fletcher Bolton. And that is another, what does it say down there? Can't see what that says. But that would probably have been made on here. I think it was a brickwork company. And I will show you when I get to, I think there's a information board at the bottom here. And I'll just show you that, guys. I'll show you everything what was built and all the companies what ran on here at the time. Walk down by your feet. So here is the information board, and I'll just give a quick read through it. The metal rail is part of a weighbridge and all that remains of the buildings that covered the site through the 19th century. Just here stood a huge building which had been a paper maker's, calico printers, and finally lever bank bleach works. The bleach works closed down on the day of the owner's funeral in 1863. Other industries on Ladyshore included Nova Brickworks, Hartley's pea canning factory, and the pottery tip. And then here you have the colliery. There's a picture, or should I say like a drawing, oil painting, whichever, of the colliery, which would have stood at the top where the canal bridge is on the other side. And here is a map which is the bleach works, and it even had a little reservoir there which is over there, I think. And then you get the Nova Brickworks, and then at the top you get Ladyshore Colliery, which is going over the canal, and there's the bridge that goes across. And I think it's that and the stables which is left. All other bits of the colliery has been demolished, and the cobble path we came down, and this is where all the landslides was, and then we've come all the way past that. I didn't see that path. We'll go and check the areas out. I think we're stood about here. No, we're stood about here. And the brickworks would have been, bleach works would have been here behind us. You can see a bit of concrete on the floor. Now let's go and have a little dig about, see if we can see. So here would have been the biggest part of the bleach works. It would have ran all the way along the canal. And we'll go and check the bridge which goes across over the river, which is no longer a bridge. So here we are on the edge of the river Irwell, which is looking nice today on this nice coloured blue sky day. And here would have been all the remains of the bleach works from all the demolition. If we just look, here would have been the bridge what went across the River Irwell straight across to the other side, and there is a river or a road or some sort which comes just above which you can see on the maps if you go on Google Maps. Anyway, we have another landslide. Let's move further on up. And here we have the very last bits of foundation of these buildings, which would have been here a very long time ago. And then you get a wall coming in. It's like a little basin for boats. They must have used the water for something. Not too sure. The works. We here have the wall of the river, and we come up to the bridge, which is no longer a bridge. And that is pretty much what's here on the bank. And we'll go and check out the rest of it. So let's do this. Here we have the top end of the bridge. It's obviously no more bits of metal here. Well, it would have gone straight across the river. Then you have the wall, which probably would have been more bleach works at the bottom there. Parts of the bleach works would have been. And we're just gonna go take a look where the Nova brickworks was and fly the drone, and that is pretty much the end of the video. No, it ain't actually. We have the colliery, which the cottage, or should I say the offices of the colliery, is still there, and it is a house. It's still got the gates and everything that looks in. We'll go and check that in a minute. We'll go and check the Nova. Oh, what's that in trees? Well, that's been here since Christmas. Oh dear. It's handmade, that. Someone made it themselves. Huh. But anyway, as I was saying, we'll go check the Nova brickworks out and I'll see you at the location. But I would imagine this area would have been the brickwork area. And we're just heading to the end of the video now, and I'll show you the last bits, which would have been the actual Ladyshore Colliery, and there would have been mine pits coming all the way through underneath all of this land, and even underneath the river Irwell, same as Clifton Marina, well, something similar. Right everyone, we're just at the top of the cobbled path which goes all the way down to the bottom of these grounds, and we're currently at the top, and we're going to cross the bridge which goes over the canal, and this is where they would have been taking all the coal and everything else which would have been going on these grounds, straight up into Little Lever and also that way towards Radcliffe. And if you remember on my History Tours Part 2, I would have come down this part of the canal all the way down to the old steam crane, which is a Grade 1 listed piece of history which is left on the side of the canal. And so, as I was saying guys, this is the remaining of Ladyshore Colliery, which is the old offices from the colliery, and also the stables are the only thing which survived. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of another adventure, Aaron's urban exploring. And as you can see, there's the main gates. There's the main gates which would have gone in to the colliery at the time. And we've still got all the cobble paths. But yeah, if you enjoy Aaron's urban exploring, always. Anyway, if you enjoy Aaron's urban exploring, make sure you subscribe to my channel and keep a lookout for all the next videos which I will be dropping on my YouTube. There's another one done, Ladyshore Colliery, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.